Hey there, Libra Ascendant. This is your rising sign Ascendant forecast for the week ahead from Monday, the 24th of November, right the way through to Sunday, the 30th of November, 2025. Now, this is a week where your ruling planet, Venus, is taking center stage. She is absolutely the woman of the match this week. She's doing really, really well. And I have to say, this week is one of lots of releases. So anywhere where things have been a bit tense and kind of, like gnarly, it feels like things are starting to smooth out and we're starting to move away from that really kind of intense Scorpio energy. In particular, like last week with a new moon in Scorpio and Venus, your ruling planet, in the sign of Scorpio, it's been very, very intense. And we're shifting out of that, in particular at the end of this week, after not one, not two, not three, but 5 aspects with Venus, your ruling planet. Venus is also going into the sign of Sagittarius, and then things are really going to move forwards beautifully. So we should get cracking, shouldn't we? Before I go any further, just want to say, if you're new to this channel, my name's Louisa. Welcome to Feel Good Astrology. I hope you enjoy it. And as ever, I always do a shout out for the people that support my channel. So thank you so much if you're one of them. I really appreciate it. Whether it's historical, whether it's monthly, quarterly, or in membership, thank you so much for your donations and your kindness. I really appreciate it. Anyway, this is how the chart is looking for the beginning of the week. And you'll see that moon is in Capricorn, the sun's just newly in Sagittarius. And then by the end of the week, you'll see the moon has moved right the way around to Aries. The sun has come really into the sign of Sagittarius now. And Venus, your ruling planet, is into this part of the chart, Sagittarius. So, at the beginning, we've still got this sort of Scorpio energy and the grand water trine that's been coming on for quite some time. And by the end of it, we're really moving into this third house part of your chart. And the third house is about the community expression, that feeling of belonging, that you belong somewhere, that sense of warmth that you get, and that sense of familiarity. So we're coming into nice times, which I think you'll really appreciate. Anyway, let's go to the start. So these are the most important aspects as I see them. And you'll notice here that we've got 24th, 25th, 26th. That's Monday through Wednesday. Then the 27th isn't listed. There are moon movements on that day, but nothing that important. I'm really talking planet to planet here. So Thursday, the 27th, that's Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving if you're in America, by the way. And if you support it or celebrate it, sorry. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we've got a lot more going on and a scene change. So this first quarter is when the moon is exactly 90 degrees away from the sun. And this is really indicating that it's time to start moving. It's time to start budging, shifting, picking up the phone, putting on your gloves, putting on your boots, rolling your sleeves up and getting into things. This isn't a time from the 28th. It is a turning point to start moving forwards again and picking up pace. So it's not about like lounging around and waiting for life to happen. It's about like getting on and holding on tight, because it's like the ride is starting. So this first part of the week, I see as things are moving into place. And then from the 28th, it's go, go, go. Get the green light. So the 24th, we've got Mars in a T-square to the nodes. That's when it's exactly happening. In truth, it's already happening and it will happen a little bit beyond that, but that's when it's at its peak. But Mars is a planet of action and of a kind of natural independent authority. And Mars in your third house is really showing where you're wanting to be seen and known around. You're wanting to feel important in your community. You want to feel important where you belong, I guess is a great way of saying it. And you've got a lot of energy that you could put into how you belong, where you belong, if that makes sense. And one of the things that's holding it up, that would be this series of 2 squares to the south node in your 12th house and the north node in your 6th house. Now, The South Node is showing what you've already learned and where you've come from in the past. And the North Node is showing what's still to learn and where the future is heading. And so to me, it feels like you're not able to take full action and belong somewhere and feel that enjoyable sense of, I have a real purpose here. I know what I'm doing here, because there's something unconscious going on that you've not let go of. Maybe it's an old belief pattern about yourself. Maybe something happened in the past where you thought, oh, I'm definitely not a community person, definitely don't belong anywhere. But there's something that you maybe should have taken action on a while ago. And if you know what that is, now's the time to do it, because in due course, the sun will come into this place, so will Venus, and so will Mercury. So the same theme will come up and it'll be reflected to you in a multitude of ways. But, whatever is going on with you expressing yourself in the neighborhood and where you belong is slowed down by your beliefs about yourself and what you're holding in your memory bank. It's time to let it go. Because also you can't move on, like how you interact locally and with a sense of purpose and belonging is also going to shape your future and shape your routine and shape how you fit your life together. To make yourself useful in the community means you might have to shuffle some things around. So really it's suggesting that you need to commit to your future and the community that you belong in, or where you sense belonging. That could be your work community, by the way, as well. And anything in your programming that's stopping you from doing that, it's time to let it go, shift it, coach, get someone to coach you with it, whatever it is, but find a way to move beyond it, because the old memories, whatever it is that's coming up, it's hurting you, it's restricting you from moving forwards. So that's a gentle reminder at the beginning of the week. And then there are some things that are helpful in terms of your purpose and in terms of how you value yourself. So Mercury in a conjunction to Venus in the second house is helping you re-establish your personal value. And there's an uncovery or recovery. Mercury's retrograde, but meeting up with Venus. So there's something hidden from the past that comes up, and it's like, man, I forgot about that. And then with the remembrance of it, things start to move forwards. And then on the 26th, Venus is very good in the second house. She's not happy in Scorpio, but in the second house, she's there to show you where there is absolutely a value and a reason that you're here. And she is connecting exactly to Jupiter in the 10th of your career, and exactly to Saturn in your 6th to do with your productivity. And so she's really helping you re-establish your actual value in life, which I think is really helpful. So it is really moving you. And then from the 28th, when we get to the first quarter, it's time to take action on what you've learned about yourself. And so Saturn going direct on Friday is going to be interesting, and I want to ask you, what was happening for you from March 2023 in terms of how you manage your life? This could involve your health, and it could also involve your day-to-day management of your money, your work, how you get to and fro from work, how you manage your house, how you afford things. Because Saturn coming into this part of the chart has shown that you've really needed to be on it, like really be vigilant and disciplined. And it's probably been very, very tiring for you to manage it. And so I guess what is coming up as Saturn goes direct is a feeling of whatever has held you in this place of extreme responsibility for others, and a lot of hard work. It feels like something is moving forwards, and all of a sudden, you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, not because it's time to go, but because, I don't have to do all of that so hard anymore. Saturn moving out of this part of your chart is going to be a real delight. It's going to really move things on. It's going to be helpful. And then on the 29th, Mercury goes direct. And so again, how you've been wondering about yourself and maybe feeling overburdened, overworked, and not gifted enough. Mercury's going to move forwards, and all of a sudden you're going to feel a lot clearer about your purpose and value together. So this is all about purpose and value, I would say. And then as we're coming into the 30th, that's Sunday the 30th, Venus goes into an exact opposition with Uranus. She also goes into a trine with Neptune. Let me just quickly unpack that. So, Venus and Uranus are across the second and eighth house. These are both money houses. And so down here, you're exploring your personal value and how to make more money. And up here, it feels like there are shocks around the money that you might share with somebody else, maybe your partner and their money and how you're each contributing to your life together. And so it feels like there's something to break through, like there's an emotional breakthrough. There's a shift. Maybe there's a turning point in your relationship that allows you to feel a greater sense of financial ease. But suffice to say, the fight that you've had about your own personal value and the overwork that you've been doing, there's a shift and it's coming. And I think it will be a massive relief when that happens. And as it's happening, Venus connected in a trine to Neptune is reminding you to have gentleness and forgiveness and compassion for yourself. To me, it's like you're coming into grace, like you say, enough. I'm not going to put myself through this anymore. There has to be another way. I will find another way. And in the knowledge that you're not prepared to work the job of like 3 people for the same money as one person earns, in that recognition that you've done enough, you don't have to do anymore. And you want to take your foot off the gas a little bit, all of a sudden, some new possibilities coming forwards. And on that day as well, Venus is heading into the sign of Sagittarius. And then your value is explored through the nature of the community. It feels like the community can meet you, the community can support you a little bit more. Now, obviously, I don't know what your actual financial situation is, but that's just how I'm reading this for all Libra ascendants, not necessarily your particular position. But to me, it means you're moving into a place where the answers lie in the community a lot more than you realize, and that your success with money and your feelings of self-worth are emphasized when you're of use to more people, and when you feel like you've got a particular role that is actually the role you came here to do. So I think things are going to shift in a way that's going to be helpful. So that kind of brings me to the end of the week as I'm looking at it. And if you've enjoyed the way I relate to astrology, in particular your astrology, and you'd like to take a bit of a journey with me, then I've got membership. If you just want forecasts, I've got a place where you can come and get day-to-day updates and weekly updates. I've also got a membership where you can learn with me and other people within membership, where we, look at our charts together and examine different astrological energies. And I'm also opening up 10 spots for an internal private mentorship, an astrological mentorship in the new year, where we work on a month by month basis together on your chart, going deeper and deeper in different ways. Each month from a different perspective. And if that sounds like something, or if any of that sounds like it's for you, then just get in touch. All of my details are below underneath the show notes and also on my channel page. So wishing you a wonderful week ahead. I hope it all goes beautifully and you feel a lot more that sense of belonging that you've been looking for. And yeah, maybe I'll work with you, but maybe I'll just catch you next time in another forecast. Anyway, loads and loads of love, and catch you next time. Bye for now.